Good morning, fellow traders, friends, and investors. Thank you for taking your time to join today's discussion. Topic of today is Motilal Oswal, Kaynes take, and the Rainbow Way. So I'm very happy that you all, those who have joined, you could make some time for today's discussion, and also those who will be watching this video later in the YouTube. So thank you once again. Yesterday, I have held my Sunday stock storm. Some of you may be aware of it. The episode topic of the day was analyzing the income statement. We have taken a basic look at the income statement, and because from the next Sunday storm, I want to highlight some of the important tricks regarding price earning multiple. So we have created the first base so that we can move towards that discussion. In this one, I have highlighted how you can calculate price to earning multiple. So yesterday, as I held this session, today I actually did not have any plan to hold this session, but a particular update came into my notice, and I think it will be a good opportunity to remind you all about, especially those who either associated with me via the rainbow chart, rainbow journey, or those who have watched my YouTube videos in the past. One thing I have mentioned repeatedly over and over again, that risk management rule number one, that in your trading and investment decision, you don't listen to anyone. That includes me as well. Those who have the rainbow setup, you have the setup with you. Through the setup, market is guiding you on what is going on. So I'd like to highlight the update that came to my notice today morning is from Mr. A.K. Madhan via this is the X account previously known as Twitter. Kindly note, on 5th of November 2025, Motilal Oswal, their advisory arm, issued a buy on Kaynes Technologies at CMP of 6659 with a target of 8,200. I have said this repeatedly. That is how the industry works. That if you suggest anything, as if you have to give a target, though even though it can remain fictional, मतलब कोई base ना हो सकता है वो target पे, but you have to give a target. Otherwise, you don't qualify. On the other hand, I'm in the opposite end who believe that future cannot be predicted. So my way is not to predict where this Keynes technology will go to. Rather, when it is bullish, through my setup, I will try to flow with the market. Now, look at the next line. Less than 2 weeks later, Motilal Oswal's mutual fund arm offloaded a huge chunk of the same stock, around 6,000 rupees. That means their advisory arm gave buy rating with a target of 8,200, and looks like their own mutual fund manager was not so sure of this target and chose to square off at 6,000. And this is very important, that we normal investor may feel that it is a conflict of interest, but legally, as he has explained, it isn't. As per SEBI rule, looks like this is allowed completely. And even if SEBI initiates an investigation, the person is suggesting many a time that this decision of exits do not come via email, means no particular evidence can be found against Motilal Oswal. Motilal Oswal I have no issues with, and they are quite reputable, at least broker I will say. But this is even a reputable broker, established broker can do this, and there are many fraudsters already in the system. The market is not fraud, but as it has money, it easily attracts the fraudsters. So how it is our responsibility like there are police, it is still our responsibility that at night we lock our doors. Similarly, it is your and my responsibility that we stop listening to others completely. We learn either the process that can be candlestick chart, moving averages, or those who use the rainbow setup. It was clearly telling you that there was no on 5th of November, we should not have bought. Even those who do not have the setup, it was very clear from the line chart that it was in a bearish phase. So if you had invested here money, all we could do is lose out the money. And that is exactly going on. And despite my warnings, and definitely others are warning, people still tend to work on the tips rather than at least look for themselves in the chart, look at the annual report, what are the earnings going on. No, largely they rely on the tips. And as they look for the reputed brokers, the common thinking comes, as I am new, Motilal or Mr. SD is here in the market for such a long time, they may know better. Nobody knows better. Market, nobody can predict. That's what I believe. It is better. Few can, market is not always right. Only few can recognize that. Rest for others who cannot recognize that when the market is, say, over optimistic, reaching to a bubble territory, very few can recognize in the world that situation is irrational. And even more, it is tougher. Situation irrational does not mean market will crash tomorrow. So sometimes we will have to take a stance against the popular belief, which in my case I took in silver on October 14th, just before the crash. Of course, when we are taking such a stance, we have to know in our mind that yes, we could be wrong. So definitely some courage gets required to go against the trend, what is going on. But as majority are not able to do that, the best practice for anyone would be to take guidance from at least the market. And by whichever chart you look for, the weekly chart, from 20th of October, this breakdown, it was a bearish Dow structure completely. And previous swing low was broken even before that, around October 6th. So I have no idea based on what logic Motilal Oswal suggested that we should go long on 5th of November with the target of 8,200, which looks like their own mutual funds did not have faith in, as they squared off around 6,000. And sometimes we may think, okay, since I'm not good at this, let me put my money into a mutual fund. If you look at the 10-year record of the mutual fund, which I have discussed in my Sunday stock storm, 90% failed to outperform the market. Means when you want to avoid something like over trading and invest into SIP, into mutual fund, your fund manager can do the over trading for you. And this was the main highlight which I wanted to issue today. By no means, whether I look at the line chart or whether I look at my specialized chart, there was no reason to go for the Kaynes technologies. It is same what every great, even Motilal in its possibly discussion will highlight ki we should not go and catch a falling knife. But this recommendation, as they are expecting 8,200 from a 6,000, that will be a 30% plus rise. That means definitely could be either daily, not intraday charts definitely, or the weekly. In either of them, I could not find any logic whatsoever to go into Kaynes technologies. Even if the stock is good, timing is not right. So this video I had to do again to urge you all that if you are still continuing this behavior, that listening to others gets easily influenced, you better stop this. Majority case, if you are reading a newspaper or CNBC TV 18 watching, you should be able to differentiate between what is news, like Pakistan attacked India is a news. Pakistan attacked India and stock market can go down 20% is a view. So first learn to differentiate the news and the views, and then you can be ready to read more closely the newspaper, watch out the CNBC TV 18. Otherwise, this echo chamber will force you to take illogical action. And when you are confused about what to do, at least if you have the rainbow setup, it's great. But if you don't, the market will 100% guide you via the Dow structure. And not just 6th of November, I see no reason still to go into Kaynes. Look at another stock. Let's look at Bombay Stock Exchange. Majority case, something seems to be wrong. Did I lose my internet connection? Let me check again. I hope I have not lost my internet connection. Am I audible to all of you? Can you hear me out? Pretty strange why it is not getting loaded. But anyway, if it's still not getting loaded, no issues. You can watch yourself the Bombay Stock Exchange chart, and you can see simply rely on the, say, let me try this one if possible, BAC. Things are getting updated, but yeah, it came. Somehow that was issue. Look at it, gave you a direction via the Dow structure. If you look at the daily chart, market will continue to give you guidance. Look at the double bottom, breakout, zone, again breakout, and Dow structure. It is continuously guiding. So before relying on tips from others, at least try to learn the basic Dow structure, and you can do very, very well. If we can cut down these bad trades that we are doing, any stock, say let's say Maruti, if you don't have anything else, market will 100% guide you via the Dow structure. Those who trade on the daily chart based on Dow structure, it was an entry above this level. If you look at some other chart, say Motilal chart itself, Motilal is also listed. Let's look at what Motilal is doing. It is going down. Market will guide you 100%. And you just have to have faith that no one can predict it. What is market going to happen? That's a fact. You can only take a look at the present. And in the present, it is definitely not going up. So that means if you still want to invest in the Motilal Oswal, you should be aware, okay, it can go down even more. And be prepared for the drawdown. Means sometimes you have faith, could be no, Motilal is an excellent stock, I have faith. In that case, if that is the situation, you have faith, with this decline, you should be more excited. Wow, I'll get it cheaper. If you are not getting excited in a stock which is falling and you think you are investor, there you are lying to yourself. So as long as you stop this lying to yourself and focus on how market is guiding you, either via Dow structure or sophisticated setup, which will 100% guide you, our stock master, that Motilal is not good and not good for a quite a long time. Whereas if you look at the Federal Bank, which I have highlighted several times, it is stronger. Market is clearly guiding us. Via the rainbow chart, it is clearly, if we remain on the strong stocks, either via Dow structure, and in my Sunday stock storm, I have asked you, those who don't have basic sophisticated setup or etc., you can simply rely on kind of double bottom and try to ride those stock and ride with the Dow structure, and you will do pretty well, very well compared to others. Just take a look at the 10-year performance of any mutual fund. 10-year Nifty return was 14% average. 90% of the mutual fund could not make it. So if you can stick to the strong stocks, very likely you will outperform. Even if you had invested in this breakout 213, if you want to know, I just want to outperform the mutual fund managers. That means you just need 16% return in 1 year. And this stock is already giving us way more than that. So next step will be, when it is giving us, let's not disturb it. Because you have to have faith that either via rainbow or via the Dow structure, like market always gives us signal, it will give us signal for an exit. So that's all, friends. I wanted to highlight, after watching this particular piece of update from Mr. A.K. Mandhan, who highlighted about Motilal. So once again, remind you all about risk management rule number 1. Never ever forget the risk management rule 1. Otherwise, you are going to underperform. If you have any particular questions, I'll be happy to answer them. This will be a very small session. I will try to close it by 11:45 or 15. And thank you everyone for taking the time to join today's discussion. Vishalji, yes, we have already uploaded Vishalji ka question. If you can get the full recording, yes, the Sunday Stock Storm recording is released in the YouTube. It was an error. Somehow it got stuck initially. Vishalji, thank you for being an avid follower. And it is released. You can learn about the analyzing income statement. And don't miss out the next, I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Next 3 Sunday Stock Storm, where I'm going to share some special tricks regarding the PE multiple. Now, the one you see here, whether you apply the Dow structure or you apply the rainbow charts, it is a beautiful tool, but it is only timing part of the game. It cannot tell what is the earnings of the company, what is the fundamental of the company, but it is really good timing too. So if you apply the tricks along with it, especially if you are a bit of long-term investors, I think the upcoming 3 sessions on the PE will be very useful to you. But the recording is available. It will remain available for public at least till Wednesday. So you can take your time and watch it. Can I repeat my view on BSE? Yes, what I have done, BSE, CDSL, MCX, these are NSDL, these I put in a complete separate category. All stocks are not same. Even if I apply a common sense, no need to look at BSE balance sheet, that this BSE stock, MCX stock, CDSL stock is going to stay for a very long time. It's not going bankrupt. Very unlikely. Now, my focus remains in this stock. I want to buy them cheap. So BSE gave a very beautiful drop, and after the drop there came a buy signal. So it is going well. Now it is testing the top. I'm fully sure that BSE, if there is a need for exit, BSE will give me price action neutral here. Those who are not using the setup, you can be fully sure that there will be a Dow structure, lower high, lower low, in the weekly chart. That is your exit. If you get a lower high, lower low, that is your exit. And if you're using the Dow structure alone, try to enter any important base or important Dow structure new breakout. Sometimes you will make small money. Suppose you have invested 2,500 and Dow gave you an exit around say 2,700. It may seem like only 200 rupees, but if you do the right calculation, means annualized return, which Warren Buffett is continuously doing 28. If compared with Nifty, he is not doing Nifty. If Nifty gives 14, all mutual fund managers fail. Warren Buffett is sitting at 28. Completely a different league. So if we can get 25, 30, our capital is small, we can get more. But at least if we can get 25, 30, we should be very happy. And even with a 200 return, if you make it annualized, your target is achieved. So BSE, currently I remain bullish. I treat the BSE stocks slightly differently than the other stocks. Same rule applies for MCX as well, multi commodity exchange. This one after the correction is going full bullish. No need to disturb the stock. And if you just stick to those who don't have access to the setup, if you just stick to few rules, that okay, I invest with a inverted head and shoulder. Here is inverted. I invest with a double bottom only. You can check out my Sunday stocks term. You need to research a bit about how inverted head and shoulder behave and double bottom and stick to them. You are largely going to be a very good winner. Much better than what the mutual funds are doing. Like if you have taken, if you say you this year you did not do well, you earned 8%. Suppose that means you have beaten all the small cap mutual funds, all of them. They did not provide this even the 8% return. Only few rules that this is my only rule. And when a stock is going up, unless there is a Dow structure, I will not unnecessarily disturb it. Just because some other stock going up by 10-15%. Majority, if you stick to them, they will give you your required return. So for me, what Rainbow helps me is to ride the stock for as long as possible. And this really helps. Is there a new entry on HDFC Bank on weekly? This is a question, but you should, sir, focus on what you think. I can definitely give my idea. Let's look at HDFC Bank is a very good bank, one of the top bank of and possibly the top bank of India. So let me look at how it is. Let's first apply the Dow structure. Yes, a new breakout you can see. Now you have to next conclude that anything can happen. Means you can make loss. Or look at your first idea. What is my idea? This idea can be very complex. It is called hypothesis. Those who don't know how to build hypothesis, your first hypothesis is HDFC Bank will go up. That's why you want to buy. Now, at what point you will understand that HDFC Bank is definitely not going up? That will be this point, 984. If HDFC Bank closes below 984, that means I will be sure at least it is not going up for now and we have a negative Dow structure. That means I can lose out 984, 20 rupees, 1130 rupees, about say 3 to 4%. Does it make sense losing out? Because if you lose out 3 to 4%, you're not losing just 3 to 4%. You could have invested in a fixed deposit. So overall HDFC, it is looking to like a break. If you look at the momentum, it looks like a breakout opportunity. Look at the 1000 psychology level, it is holding above the psychology level. These are all positive outcomes. However, if I look at via Stockmaster, I use this one. What more? Because this give me more details. What I can see, preferred trades are buy support, sell resistance. So breakout not a very preferred trade. That means it has to be converted into risk management. Means could be lower quantity I will expose in HDFC Bank. What else I can see? Strength is not there. Speed is not there, which is I need 10 and 70. RS, relative strength not there. So there are another risk. Suppose it does not come to 980. It can go to 1030 and then remain just above 1000 for long. When I don't have my score support, can I still buy? Yes, I can buy. But it usually means that the movement will be more gradual, slow, not very fast, which is also very natural for a stock like HDFC Bank, means top notch stock. It does not move like small cap. So when I don't have these supports and I still want to go into the stock, I manage lower quantity. So HDFC Bank, my approach will be currently I remain invested. So I'm not looking for HDFC Bank. But if I look for HDFC Bank, my focus will be lower quantity now. Because every penny matters. Every penny, if it can give 30%, ultimately my whole portfolio will give me 30%. Some other banks are also showing significant strength, like Equitas Bank and another one has been showing strength. And from the rainbow, we know which way the stock might flow. So a lot of banks, not just HDFC, a lot of other banks as well, like I've shown you Federal Bank, many other banks have been showing strength. So before you jump onto say individual stocks, also have a look for the sectors. Which sectors are currently strong? What is the overall condition of the equity market? Like if you look at international market, selling pressure has come. So based on all that, how your portfolio will be. Like right now in international market, my portfolio has moved 60% into bonds, US government bonds. That means I have no risk of losing money. My return will be lower. And I'm very happy with that because as I wait with the bonds and stocks crash, I will get better opportunities, better bargain. So decide on your stance on the overall picture, not just one stock giving breakout or what. Deepak ji पूछ रहे हैं, can all Sunday stock storm be available for Rainbow members? No. But certain Sunday stock storm will be available for Rainbow members, like the portfolio one, money management one. But that will become available only when this Rainbow exclusive members section open up. And I have a broadly plan also ki once a certain period is reached, I will release the Sunday stock storm for public as well. So if you want to wait, you can wait for that time and gradually it will be released publicly. Currently, I cannot, it is difficult to make videos for YouTube members. So I'm giving this currently only majority times the recording only to YouTube members. So once I launch say this candlestick, Japanese charting, it will available to Rainbow members, YouTube members, and then the Sunday stock storm will become public. Bank of Baroda, I have highlighted several times now. If a stock is going up, don't disturb it unnecessarily unless it becomes really concerning. So Bank of Baroda, It is first time giving out a correction. This is where we have to decide two things. One is, should I reallocate some of the money that is in the Bank Baroda, which gave a wonderful return? 250 was a very good level, and now it is in 280. 10%, and don't look at 10%. It gave from October to November. In 1 month, 10%. That means annualized it gave more than 100%, which is way satisfactory. You needed just 30. Now you have to make a decision. Do I have other good opportunities? Should I now, because with this signal, unless the momentum support is there, I tend to exit small, the Bank of Baroda. And this is just the Monday. I will have to wait a little longer in the week to decide whether it's really an important exit or not. Along with that, if you was a level, also 300 is a psychology level. The 100, 300, 400, 500. 500 is much stronger, but 300 is a psycho level. So a correction is natural. Second, I have to decide how will I re-enter the Bank of Baroda if I have exited. That will be again price action bullish, and then I will be able to enter Bank of Baroda. Cupid has given really excellent runs. Sometimes we get these, not always possible beforehand to know which stock will go up like this. Like Force Motor gave us 100%. Cupid has done really well. Possibly could be, I don't know, maybe you can do valuation of a stock. It was undervalued and it gave a good run, but it is very difficult to know in advance which stock will go up like this. You will not find any analyst which is suggesting Cupid will go up 4 times within a year or so. But really, it has given a wonderful run. If you have been into it, awesome. You have made awesome returns, so try to stick to it. You will get an exit. Such a stock, when the background will be turning yellow, means short trend will be neutral. You should square off the full. So Agarjibal, when we will get access to your website? I'm working on it. I'll try in the January. Moon phases and rainbow price action on daily for, would you please analyze this hypothesis? Moon phase, I hope you know what is. No moon bearish price action, then market trend, bullish market gives up. I'm not aware of this moon phase. I'm aware of one moon phase. There could be other, because I have not researched too much into moon phases. Regarding moon phase, I know that the stocks which go up, say, on the bearish moon or no moon, say by 2%, usually they double on the full moon. But I'm not a avid follower of moon stock, moon phase. But Nifty, if you want to know what is the situation, I have discussed in Storm, it is weekly bullish. So stocks still, lot of good stocks will be coming. Strong stocks will continue to rise. If you look at the daily chart, Nifty undergoing slight correction, price action neutral, which is natural given the selling pressure we are getting in the international market. And 125 minutes chart I use for option trading and index futures trading, which is clearly suggesting I better wait out before I take any directional trades. I have trades like bull put spread, tomorrow expiry, but they are quite significantly far away. So I have no worry on them. I'll be able to square off them in full profit. So if I look at the option master right now, which is for the option trading, it is currently suggesting, should I start a new directional trade? Let me make it bigger so you can see. I take clear guidance from the option master. Option can be traded different ways, with the Greeks, no Greeks, with the volatility, IV, no IV, many ways. Where the way I trade it is, I'm good at direction, which many people are not. They get confused. Then I'm aware of how much risk I'm going to take, which I don't say. Suppose I want a 40% return per annum. So उसके लिए I don't need very big. 40% return, 8 days pending to the next expiry, which is 2nd of December. That means within 2nd of December, I just need 1.6% return. Each of the trade, if I decide I will want a annualized, I think of annual term. Only 7% people make more than 7%, 93% fail. So if I can get close to 40 or 35, even 30 and do it continuously, I believe I'm doing well. I don't have to aim for big money. So that is what my focus is. That means 1.6% if I can get in my trades and remain strategically margin block 80%, my job is done. So big return मुझे नहीं चाहिए. I want my required return. So moon phase, sorry sir, I'm not great at the moon phase. You said you park money in US bond? Yes, via bill, T-bill, TBIN, ETF sir. Venkat sir पूछ रहे हैं I park my money in ETF. ETF is equivalent to US government bond. That means I am more defensive, right? And if you just look at guidance from the market, I went ahead before the guidance. Maybe it was for my long-term experience with the international market. Same like silver, I felt something is not right. When you have a very long experience, majority time our gut is right. If you look at my post in Stock Social, silver, there was no signal for an exit. But something inside me started bothering that ये पागलपंती लग रहा है, the way silver is moving. And that's what I felt. The way I'm getting the PE, it is not making sense to remain invested given which cycle we are, late part business cycle, given the risk has gone up. Somebody has to pay the tariff, so where some slowdown is evident. Too much debt has gone into AI stocks. So it just did not feel right when it was going up. So I started going defensive, even little defensive before that, but extremely defensive around this area. And now what I can see, there is a sell signal, but it is not strong. So I'll not jump to sell. I'm aware of it. It has a low probability of success in my probability meter. Also, there is a white cross. And from market structure, what rainbow does, when those who are associated, you can, the advanced topic, you can understand the market microstructure with the rainbow setup. After a buy signal, a correction on the opposite side is very, very natural. So with this probability, white cross, it is signaling an opposite side correction could be. After that, the sell-off will come. So currently my stance, even if you don't apply the rainbow chart, let's look at the Dow. Previous swing almost broken. Look at the daily chart. Dow, it clearly highlighted bearish. कहाँ पे है bullish? No bullish sign. And currently I can be wrong as well in stock. So if it goes bullish, rather I will go for Nasdaq ETF rather than looking at individual stock, because fluctuation in individual stocks will be way more. So that's all, friends. I tried to take as much query as possible. Please guide it. So I'll take the please guide question and I'll close it off. View on Indian Mayfair alloys in weekly chart it is, but don't confuse between the time maze, sir. Um, I will recommend that you first fixed how you exit. Like if there is a sell signal in daily, it is a good exit. But usually it is better in a very bull market not to disturb, because IMFA, you can clearly see the Dow structure. There is no doubt about it. It is turning bearish. Let's look at the weekly chart. It is also coming. Let's look at what our rainbow setup is suggesting. Exit. It has come. The exit has come. So I think it will not be a bad idea to move away from, because once a breakout fails, the opposite side movement reaction becomes very risky. And when you are buying a stock, try to buy at a pattern around the base, because there will be many opportunities. If you have done this breakout, it's okay. But now this breakout seems to be failing. So exit. I will exit. You should not listen to me, but first clear out the plan. And there is clear signal in the daily. Whether you apply the Dow, it is a clear sell signal. So I think it is turning bad, the IMFA right now. But in a very strong move, after a while, the correction, once again, bulls can come back. So place a rainbow buy alert if you are using the rainbow chart, and try to reallocate your money where you are getting better opportunities. Thank you everyone for watching today's discussion. I hope you will continue to remember risk management rule number one: never ever listen to others and do the trading. Thank you very much.